Happy Thursday, my friends. Thad Riley here, and episode number 349 of the Thadcast. Welcome to January 21st, the first full day of Joe Biden being the president of the United States of America. And it's a fascinating time. If you saw the inauguration yesterday, you saw a lot of, I would call it a strange toned down level of pageantry. There were a few things that stood out, of course. The color purple that was being worn. I know Kamala Harris wore it. I don't remember who else. I wasn't paying attention to everyone's outfits, but and that was to represent the symbolic unity for our country of red and blue coming together. In fact, yesterday was a day of colors, and if you've seen some of the things out there, the bold colors and stuff that people wore, and that's a good sign for America in some ways. You know, bringing some life back, bringing some encouragement back after the past few months have been so debilitating emotionally, I think, for a lot of us. And we're just kind of like, well, I'm good over here. I'm really good. And I'm going to worry about me. I'm going to do this. And hey, listen, Washington is Washington. And you and I got stuff in our four walls that's much more pertinent that we put our efforts and our intensity and our emotions into right now, today. I'm telling you, that's so important for me as a dad of six. That means that I'm engaged. I know what's going on. I'm not sitting there just drifting off. And it's interesting because I read my devotional today, and it's called, it's a devotional a friend of mine sent me, a really wonderful couple, and it's called Stand Strong, and it's 365 devotions for men by men. So we're going to plagiarize this material. No, I'm just kidding. We're plagiarizing if I don't tell you what it is. Who wrote it though, right? So this is called No Reverse, and I want to read it to you. It's that good. It's absolutely that good. No Reverse, Exodus. It's written by a guy, by the way, named Dave Brannon. No clue, just a guy. Sure, he's great. Dave Brannon. And the passage is Exodus 16, 1 through 2. And it says, in the desert, the whole community grumbled against Moses and Aaron. All right, so these are Dave's words going forward. Those were the Bible's words. Right now are Dave's words. And grumbled. What a word. What a word to start this day one of a new administration, right? Right. Well, officially day two, but you know what I'm saying. All right, so the first time I saw her, I fell in love. She was beautiful, sleek, clean, radiant. As soon as I spied the 1962 Ford T-Bird at the used car lot, her shiny exterior and killer interior beckoned me. So I plunked down $800 and purchased my very first car. But there was a problem lurking inside my prized possession. A few months after I bought my T-Bird, it got a little cranky. It allowed me to go forward, but I couldn't go backward. It had no reverse. Although not having a reverse is a problem in a car, sometimes it's a little good to be a little like my old car. In our walk with Jesus, we need to refuse to go backward. Paul said we need to press on toward the goal. Philippians 3:14. Perhaps the children of Israel could have used my T-Bird's transmission. We read in Exodus 16 that they were in danger of putting life into reverse. Despite the miracles God had performed, they longed for old Egypt. We need to keep moving ahead in our walk with God. Don't back up, look forward, press on. And that is so good for you and I today. We don't need to be wrapped up in the past. We don't need to be caught up in this didn't go the way that I wanted it to go. It's Thursday, by the way. Bob Goff says, give up something on Thursday. You know what I'm giving up today? Grudges. Grudges. I don't really know if I have any. I don't feel like I have any grudges. I'm just going to do a self-inventory and check today. I'm going to give up grudges. What do you say? So when we move forward, it's so much better. Stop thinking so much about the past, right, guys? Stop, and ladies, stop thinking. I use guys in term for everybody, but you know what I mean. So stop thinking about the past in such the way that we do. We obsess, we have this regret, we wish we could have done this, we wish we could have done that. You know, a lot of my friends who voted for President Trump are like, oh, why couldn't we do this? Or why could, the good old days, and it's gonna be, hey, listen, you and I, we got no clue. I talk about this all the time. We got no clue what's gonna happen tomorrow, let alone in the next couple of years. Am I right? I'm totally right. That doesn't mean that Joe Biden's not going to be president in 3 years and 360 something days. And that doesn't mean that he's not going to win the second election or Kamala will win another election. I don't know. I don't have like some crystal ball, right? If I did, I probably wouldn't be doing this. I'd be, what do they do? Did people bet on stuff? I don't know, right? I don't know. I'd do something to make some more money than this, right? Right. Anyway, no, we don't get paid for this. We just do this thing. So we're going to press on. We're going to be moving forward. We're not going to be those people sitting there, and we're not going to be sitting there like the Israelites out in the desert. And God has delivered them from slavery, from being whipped, from being beaten, like daily, like they're slaves. And they want to go back because they're in the desert and they're afraid. Hey, you and I may feel like we're in the desert right now. We may be confused. We may be afraid. There's a lot going on. But you know what? God tells us, and Jesus wants us to move forward. So how do we do that? Well, we do it with the courage that we get from the power of God living in us. That's something we've talked about in the past several episodes, is the courage that's manifested from the Holy Spirit living in our heart when we have a relationship with Jesus. There's no need for us to go backward. There's no need for us to lament the past, to blame other people that things didn't turn out the way that we wanted, to vilify people in the other party. And that's one thing we absolutely are not going to do if we are a Republican or a Democrat. We are not going to vilify people in the other party. We can certainly vilify issues. We can certainly say there is an evil that has a hold on our country when it comes to abortion. We can certainly discuss that, okay? But abortion is an issue. It's not a human. And we want to attack the issues in a positive way, right? Because we offer solutions. We offer solutions is what we do. And pressing forward means that we are thinking about those solutions more and more. For instance, with abortion, it's very, very simple. There's organizations all over the country that will help. If a single mom gets pregnant, they'll take her in to people's homes, and she'll be able to be cared for, loved, help her with insurance, help the baby be born, pay for the baby to be born, all these different things. There are organizations out there that provide solutions so that the baby will live. And that's part of moving forward is, what's the plan? Where are we going? So I want to challenge each of you today listening to me to have a plan. Where are you going? And we think about the important things going on in our life, the things that we want to work on. We want to work on our mind. So what's the plan with the mind? Like I'm reading books. I'm back to reading books. I've already read a book, shockingly enough, in 2021. After 2020, I read 2 books the whole year. I'm getting dumber. I'm sure of it. I read 2 books, a lot of articles, but 2 books the whole year. I'm telling you right now, I've got half as many books read in 2021 as I did last year. And I read Talking with Strangers by Malcolm Gladwell. And so for a follower of Jesus, I don't know if it's very inspiring in a lot of ways. I don't know if there's even really a point to the book. It's an incredibly fascinating read about humanity. It's very fascinating. I don't know if there's here's where we go from here. This is just all the stuff that I found out about how messed up we all are. That's kind of it. So, I told my wife, I said, this is a book that you should never read. Okay, so that's my review. However, if you like a good book with information in it, that's your book. It's an incredible book. It'll cause you to look at things in the world in a completely new light, right? So I look for something more motivational. Maybe I'll share here, but that's part of moving forward is taking care of the mind, and then the body. What are we doing to move forward with the body? Are we eating a little bit better? Are we getting some rest at night? I started doing this thing called sleep strips. It's this from a company we work with called ID Life, and I put this in my mouth, and oh my gosh, my sleep habits have completely changed. And I'm sleeping actually later. I used to get up at like 4:30, but I get tired throughout the day. I don't get tired at all now. So my sleep habits, sleep matters for your health, right? Are you walking? Are you exercising, right? Getting your heart rate up. That's important. Get your heart rate up. Do some things, right? My wife teaches fitness at a place called Riverwoods nearby, and that's where the old folks go, right? Rich old folks, by the way, right? I mean, that's just the truth of the matter. And she teaches fitness for these folks, and she talks about how important it is every day for them to do something for their body. And the same thing is true for me and you. And you may feel indestructible. You might be like 25 years old. You'd be like, I'm the man right now. You ain't going to be the man forever. I'm telling you right now, things going to fall apart. You can talk to me offline about it. They're falling apart sometimes, right? So we want to keep our physical health up, right? Our emotional health. How do we do that? Well, we feed ourselves spiritually. I think spiritually is the best way to go with our emotional health. For me, it is we spend time in the scriptures. We memorize scriptures to help us in moments. These are the things that we want to encourage each other to do to move forward in 2021. So you think about the mind, you think about the spirit, and you think about the body, and moving forward in light with those things, having a plan in a positive way. Now, the big thing is this. Let's just get right to it, okay? Let's not pull any punches. A lot of folks are stuck on this one word, Trump. They're stuck on President Trump. They can't get over what happened. They feel that he was wronged. He obviously isn't over it, right? And there's a lot of people, if they were angry before, they might be even more angry now. And we've seen some things lately that followers of Jesus absolutely should repel against. Any type of violence, bullying, any of that stuff, anger, rage, this stuff, hey, listen, plenty of people been wronged in their life. Plenty of people been wronged in their life. Way worse than you losing out on having the president that you wanted. Plenty of people have had a lot worse happen to them than this. Let's be honest, your life may not change at all, barely at all, due to who was elected president. Let's just keep it all completely real, okay? And that's the space you and I need to be living in. Reality. Take care of what's in front of you. Push forward with what's in front of you. I don't know about what politics is going to happen. I don't know who's running in the next election. You want to do something? Go be part of your local Republican committee. You want to make an impact? You want to do something? Get to work today. But don't get hung up on this stuff, y'all. Don't get stuck. When you get stuck and you start grumbling, you're in the desert, right? Don't create a desert for yourself. Don't do that. You deserve so much more than that. Move forward in God's grace and God's light. Push forward today, my dear friends, because when you do that, you can shine the light of Jesus to the people around you and be positive about what's coming. Be just excited about what the Lord may do in 2021. You have to figure out, you have to make this decision in your head. Is God God? And is he in control? Is he in charge? Does he have the final say? And if you believe that in your heart, then go forward in faith and light. Do it today, my friends. Be a light, be a vessel of hope for everybody around you. Be fired up because the Lord can do anything he wants to do. And he loves you just as you are and not as you should be, because you and I will never really be as we should be until we meet Jesus face to face in eternity. I'm excited for what's coming. I'm excited for how that all unfolds. I got no stinking clue. No clue. But I'm excited about what the Lord is doing in 2021 right here in America. It's going to be good, my friends. And we're going to move forward and not go in reverse. Well, thank you so much for joining me on episode 349 of the Thadcast. As always, you can join me on the Thadcast Facebook group. We love to see you there. If you have any questions, any thoughts, ideas for shows, message me. Find me on the Facebook. Find me on the Instagram. Send me a message. I'd love to hear from you. Any feedback on the shows is always good. If you can do a rating and review, that helps too. Hey, and if this episode encouraged you, share this with a friend today. Well, thank you again for joining me here today. My prayer and hope is for you that you will move forward in God's grace and hope, knowing that Jesus is still King. Amen. Well, thank you again. And until next time, my dear friends, may you be blessed.